Hello, my name is Elize Hattin and I'm coming to you live from the Smart Hub this afternoon. I think it's probably a little bit after 1, as we usually are, just a little bit after 1. And we're coming to you from the Smart Hub. We're actually in the boardroom. We've been in the boardroom. This is our second time in the boardroom. We were in the boardroom last week with Emily and Cooper. And I have to say, I really like it in here. It's got a nice like feeling, and it is nice. Hey, it's a nice vibe, and there's just enough place for our big Smart Hub sign media wall at the back. And as every week, we are here, we are coming to you live to share stories and ideas to help you, our business community, adopt technology and modern best business practice to make the whole business journey more profitable and more enjoyable. And as you know, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, we worked through that whole structured approach from the beginning of the year all the way through to about November. And what we've been doing over the last couple of weeks is we've been meeting with and talking to some of our phenomenal members. And today is no exception. Today, we are taking this to the next level with the incredible Leah Samson from Queen Cherry Bomb. How are you?
I'm great. Me. This is amazing. I haven't actually been on this couch before.
No way.
No.
How great is it?
I love it.
Yes. And it suits you. You look gorgeous on the couch. Yeah, it's really good. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
So I'll let Leah tell her own story, but you were mentioning just before that like 20 weeks ago, your life was completely different to what it is today. Okay, tell us, what were you doing before and what have you been doing over the last little bit and where are you at?
So prior to Turbo Traction Lab, I managed a community service working in the child protection sector and disability services. And that was my life for 20 years.
Wow, that's very different to what you're doing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but in saying that, it has led me to where I am though. Some of the reasons are because I really wanted to make a difference. And I know that sounds crazy because working in the human services sector, we do make a difference.
Yes.
But there are so many other opportunities out there, and sometimes the systems that we work in are very rigid. Yeah. And what I could see was in my last probably 3.5 years, I've been working a lot with young people that are traumatised, that had really, really difficult lives. They're not going to school. They're living in a situation where they're not with their families. But what I could see is that these young people have the most amazing skills, talents, qualities. They're resilient. They have all of these qualities about them that I really see in business owners and entrepreneurs. Yeah. And I thought, what's happening at our system is these young people are falling through the gaps. Yes. So I guess for me, I was ready for a career change and I was thinking about what business, I really wanted to start a business, something creative, and this has been a thought of mine for the last few years, but I just had this opportunity and I took it, so here I am. But I guess I really wanted to give back in a different way. So instead of kind of working with the current system that we have, I thought it would be really great to empower young people and young girls and women to start a business, show them that you can do it, start from the start of the journey, which was just a concept. I had no idea what I was doing, and to incorporate something that you love, to be able to give back to the community, to involve young people in the process where I can. So really for me it is about empowering women.
I love that. Okay, so essentially, just to summarise what you just said, you had a 20 career in the human services industry, and then you had this admiration for some of your clients or customers, the young people that you were working with, and you could really see in them some of the qualities that would make a really good business person, really. And so you felt inspired by them, by your own thoughts and ideas, and decided to take the leap and show people that it's possible for females to start a business and to just take it anywhere. And then you would also go back and involve these young people that you were working with wherever possible in the journey. How phenomenal, Leah, how phenomenal. Now, you mentioned one really pivotal point. You said, I've had this thing in my head,
Yeah.
and I had it for a long time. What is this idea that was in your head for a long time? What were you thinking about?
So, what I was thinking about, so my biggest issue, well, one big issue, not my biggest, there's many issues, but was that I've ridden bikes for 12 years, motorbikes, and I have not found any gear that fits me. And normally what happens is you go to a shop, you try things on, you spend your hard-earned money on good quality things, and you make that choice to pay your hard-earned money and get something back. And what I found was that women are paying the same amount of money that men are paying,
Yes.
but we're not getting the quality or the gear that fits us, where it's just not there.
So are there no other female riding clothing brands, really?
There are a couple, and they are sprouting up now.
Okay.
So I know that there are two in Australia that are doing really well, and they are 7 and 5 years old.
Okay.
So very, very young still.
Yes.
There are some in other parts of the world. So Brazil are doing some amazing things. America, they've got some great things happening, but it's still really small pockets. And what I'm finding as well is that it's small, it's not all of the range of gear. So it'll be accessories.
Yeah.
Pretty much accessories and jackets. So my idea is to branch into other things. So jumpsuits, pants, tops, the whole range.
So a whole range of fashion. Oh, that's exciting. So your idea was to bring women who ride motorcycles to solve their problem of having gear that actually fits.
Yes.
And that they feel happy wearing.
Yes.
Because from what you said, that doesn't exist really today. So I can go and buy something that's oversized, that looks like was made for a man,
Yeah.
and it's not really feminine or female
No.
at all.
And you can walk into a shop now,
Yeah.
and I urge people to go in to a motorbike store and have a look at the selection of gear, have a look at the range. There will be maybe 20 to 30% female, and the rest is male, and the sizes are very limited. So even if you did like one of those jackets or whatever it is, then the sizes are limited and the colour options are just not there. So people may think, what a big deal, you want to wear a jacket and get on a bike, just put a jacket on. But we as women do love fashion as well.
We do, we really do.
And I love fashion, and I want to be able to express myself on and off the bike.
Yeah.
It is an extension of me.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I think there's a safety element too, right? If you wear a jacket that's too big or that
Yeah.
doesn't fit well, it's not as safe as wearing something that's actually made for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, so you've had this idea, you had that idea, and then how did you make the transition between full-time employment and then getting into your own business? And then also tell us a little bit about, your involvement with the Turbo Traction Lab and how that has helped. But first, tell us the idea, because I hear that so often and see people who have lots of side hustles. So they're in full-time work and they're also in business, but they never are able to really make that transition smoothly. But you did that. How did you go?
Yeah. Really, for me, I did research. Things behind the scenes were research, talking to women, attending events, and it just kept festering and festering.
So how long did this go on where you were talking to people, attending events and thinking?
Actually, ever since I've been riding, but thinking about the actual business, the catalyst was 18 months ago I was broken into. My home was broken into, and I had a significant amount of my belongings stolen. And part of that were all of my motorcycle gear, all of my leathers. I had dirt bike gear, racing gear, all of it. And what was left were my very first pieces of gear, which were falling apart. But, I was glad that I still had those. But I thought back and I realised it had taken me so long to find that, wear it in, find something that fits, and, go from shop to shop to shop trying to find something, spending a lot of money on it, thousands of dollars, And now it's all gone and I have to start again.
Oh, so it wasn't just the expense, but also the effort of finding something that was actually worth your money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess that was a and I didn't want to go back and start doing that research again because I knew that there was nothing out there. And I would go for a ride with other women and we would talk about it, and I know that there isn't anything that I could just go and be confident in spending my money on. So I thought so this is the moment for me. Instead of going out and spending my hard-earned money, I'm going to do something about it. And so that's when it started to come, I guess, into a little bit more fruition. But the transition was a difficult one because I had created a life for myself around the human services sector. I've studied in the field. I have, I'm proud of what I've achieved in my career over that amount of time. And to move away from that was really scary. But I had to really look deep inside and work out what is it that is important to me. And I also had confidence in myself. So I think for any next step is that I'll open one door and then there's opportunities to open other doors. So I knew that wherever this was going to go, I'm confident enough that I have the resources or the ability to access resources, support networks, confidence in my own skills, that whatever happens, I'll be able to pick myself up and keep going.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So two things really. Self-confidence, that whatever happened, you could make it right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's awesome. But also the realization, was it a decision or was it more of a realization that you were going to solve this problem and that it was in your power to do so? Was that a decision or a realization or a bit of both, do you think?
I knew that I could either solve my own problem or I could help to solve a problem worldwide.
Yeah.
And that excites me more.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. So tell us about the moment when you actually went into Resign. What did that feel like?
It's the best thing that I had done because of where I am now, and I had to learn something from that. And I learned that I can stand, and I knew I could stand on my own 2 feet. I mean, I've done that my whole life. But I learned that going into the unknown isn't as scary as you think it is.
Yeah.
So it took me a few months to actually hand in the resignation because I thought, is it time? Yeah, is it the right time? Do I need to finish this task? One thing that I'm grateful for is to be able to have the conversations with my colleagues and managers about where I want to go in the future.
Yeah.
And that's what helped because there were a lot of options presented to me, and in my gut I felt no, because I knew what I wanted to do, and that was to do this and to learn and keep moving forward.
Brilliant. So okay, let's fast forward to now you've resigned. How did you actually start in your business full time? Like what happened next?
So I heard about this Turbo Traction Lab, which when I kind of looked into the details, I thought, wow, this is amazing. And talk about timing, it was just crazy timing. So I think that probably, I also had some very early links in with the Smart Hub. So I had done a startup weekend, which I'd never really even heard of before, to be honest. But I thought, okay, this is an opportunity for me to give something different a go, and I love new experiences. So I jumped in and I just loved it. The people that I met, so from all age groups, so there was 16, 17-year-olds, up until whatever age group at the other end of the spectrum. And people were just so engaged, so excited. They had so many ideas. And it was just really refreshing because it was things that I unfortunately don't hear a lot in the human services sector, because it's still, there's a whole kind of governing body around it that it takes a long time for things to shift.
True.
So when I'm talking to people about problems that we have today and 5 people throwing ideas at that problem, that's really exciting. So I think that's what was going to make it or break it for me, doing the startup weekend. And I absolutely loved it, and it was then that I applied for the Turbo Traction Lab.
Brilliant. Hey, Crystal, thank you so much for joining us. I'm on the couch, of course, with the gorgeous Leah, and we're talking about how she transitioned between full-time work and being a business owner and entrepreneur full-time. So I hear this a lot, where the startup weekend was quite like an early introduction, and people go, yeah, I think I can do this. And did you also see that you found a community of people that you could be part of, where you could do this with, or alongside is probably the right word?
It's almost like, when people say that they've found their tribe, or they haven't found their tribe, or their people.
Yes.
It's almost like that. I think it is like that, actually.
Yeah.
You feel like you've found your tribe.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, we're very lucky that you found us, and we're very lucky, very, very lucky to have you as part of our community. Crystal, hop on and ask Leah a question. That will be cool. So, Leah, you started with the Turbo Traction Lab 16 weeks ago. Tell us about your business journey and what you've learned so far.
Oh, so an amazing amount so far. In my first week, I had no idea I knew that there were, foundations, there were frameworks, but I had no idea about what they were and what they looked like. And throughout that process, I have learned some of the basic foundations of running your own business, ways of asking questions, which I had never thought of before, to be able to get that information, that really solid information, to then take the next step.
So what's your favourite question?
Asking. It's actually
any question.
It's just asking the question. So one of the things that our facilitator Daniel talks about and drills into us is actually just asking the question. So putting yourself out there and asking what you really want to know, or asking for support, or asking for somebody to buy your product. It's as simple as that. So I found it's a bit scary too, asking that question.
It is scary. And what did you expect when you first asked? What was the response that you were kind of afraid to get?
I was afraid to get a no.
Yeah.
I was afraid to get a no, I'm not really interested, and move on, and kind of me left standing here with an idea that I have and nowhere to go with it. But instead what I got was people saying yes, or not right now, but I am interested.
Nice.
Yeah.
And did that surprise you, the number of yeses and yep, I'm interested, but maybe later?
It did surprise me. It did, but I can see now why it shouldn't have, because there is a framework behind that. It's not just guesswork.
No, it definitely isn't. And that's what the TTL is so great for. It actually shares that framework and supports you through executing the framework. Yes. So, hey, Cooper, Caleb, Crystal, thank you so much for joining us. Crystal is saying that you're so awesome, a fashion inspiration. Absolutely, Crystal herself, as we know, is in fashion with Pak Thai. And so there's a question for you from Crystal. What was the best of TTL, of Turbo Traction Lab?
Hey, Crystal. What was the best of Turbo Traction Lab? One thing was meeting all the people from all over Australia coming in to be part of the Turbo Traction Lab.
Yep.
Some people like myself, I'd come in with an idea. Other people had businesses that they had established, but then they're putting a different spin on it. People would just come from all different walks of life and had the most amazing information to share. The other thing is the facilitator and the mentors. Absolutely mind-blowing. I can't thank them enough, but I know that I only was able to kind of elicit a small amount of information from them, because I know that they have so much, that they met me where I was at, which was a beautiful thing.
That is very, very important. So they gave to you the information that was relevant for where you were at the time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
So, and anything else that you'd like to add about what was the best thing of TTL?
It was just the learning. I think what I love looking back in my first and second week, where I was at, what I was thinking, how, where my mind was at to now is just miles apart. Yeah.
Even from my perspective, I've observed you. Obviously, I've only known you for 20 weeks maybe, and observed you over the last 16 weeks, and it's almost like you're a different person. It's so good to see, and you've achieved some really great results.
Yes.
Really, really great results. Hey, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. I'm here with the gorgeous Leah, and we're talking all things business, and especially actually motor by gear for women, and creating a business around that one concept. So you had the idea, you'd spoken to people, you came into Turbo Traction Lab. Tell us where you're at now and do a bit of show and tell.
I do have my jacket. So I have my very first sample. So just a little bit of a backstory. So I ordered this. I designed it and ordered within the first few weeks. And I was very hesitant because I knew that there were things that I wanted to change. I knew that there was communication that I needed to get across, but with the support of the facilitator and mentors, just order it now and then you can make changes down the track. So, but I'm so happy with, my very first MVP, which I will show everyone.
Yeah. Let me try it on. Can I try it on? Can we stand? Can that still work, Jay? Awesome. Okay, let me see. So I do not ride motorcycles, but I could be convinced to. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice, Leah.
It is. I am so happy.
Oh, very nice. Hey, Derek and Adam and Matt again. Thank you for joining us. Let's have a look. Okay, so talk me through the specs.
Okay. So we have a pocket here. This is just a little change pocket. This is something so this is key, earplugs, things like that.
That's
That
awesome.
you can get out if you just want to put your key in there it's just a quick on and off the bike. That was a huge one that I got feedback from women just saying, I need something just small. I don't need a big pocket. We've got pockets everywhere else. I need something really easy access.
I like this. So is this unique? This is your design?
It is, yeah.
So generally, if I go to the shop, I'm not going to find something with a pocket on the sleeve.
Oh, look, you might. There's so many different things out there.
But this is special.
What I wanted to do was get women from all over the world to tell me what it is that they were wanting, and this come out.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I love it, love it, love it. Okay, what else have we got?
We've got these ties at the side, so you can make them smaller or larger. So the reason is that women also, body shape change over the years. And when you buy a leather jacket, you want to have one that's going to last you 4 years.
So this is all adjustable. I can pull this in.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Okay, so if I were to gain weight, I could just make this out a bit.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So this is all based on feedback that you got from your customers.
Yeah.
Lovely. What else have we got?
So the back is, this feature here, how it dips down. When you're sitting on the bike, what happens in a lot of with women's gear is that they're short jackets. For some reason, I don't know why, but the motor industry seem to believe that women want short jackets. We don't. So when we're sitting on a bike, you're over like this, so you need to have the bottom of your back.
Yeah, I can imagine if you're like this and the jacket's short, then it's going to come up into your back. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
So there's different specs throughout it to make it breathable. It makes it so that when you're lifting your arms up and down, there's different, the way that it's shaped, that you don't need, it doesn't, when you're on the bike, it's in that perfect position.
That's awesome. Tell me about this here, and then I want to also go to the inside of the jacket.
Sure. So the zip and the logo here. So the logo is not my logo.
Yes.
But this is just the manufacturer had just put that on there because that's where the logo is going to go.
Okay, so this is a placeholder for the logo.
Exactly.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. This is this for easy access, easy
So this is for ventilation. So in the next model, I'm changing the leather in here. That I'll have some mesh in there, So for ventilation, and it's just easy access to get on and off.
Nice. Okay, so, and then these are just 2 pockets?
Yep.
Now, let's go to the inside, which is what I actually really do love.
There's one thing on the back.
Okay,
So
yes.
we've got vents here. So these open up and you get ventilation through there. So if you're riding in the Queensland summer, it is so hot.
Scorching.
So if we can get as much ventilation, which also through here, there's areas in the jacket that it's specifically where you're going to have less contact. So if you do come off, then there's less contact on the road in certain areas. So I've put ventilation there rather than in the high contact areas. So
Oh, that's very clever. So over here, we've got a less heavy or less dense fabric so that we can breathe a little bit. And that's nice. And so if we do come off, this isn't generally where you actually have in contact with the surface. Right, so now let's go to the inside. While I'm undoing the zip, I want to read what Caleb said. I'm crazy proud of how far she's come. That's you. You are the she, Leah. I'm having flashbacks from where that jacket very first came in the mail. How awesome. And there is actually an unboxing video of this jacket. Where is it? Where can people find it? On Facebook?
They can find it on the Queen Cherry Bomb Facebook page. Just go there and and contact me. Send me a message.
Okay, so the inside is pretty special because I've seen a lot of other mock-up jackets where you have really cool fabric, and this is cool too, really cool fabric on the inside. So is this made custom or how does that work?
Yeah, so I do have 2 options. So I've got a signature range and I have a custom option. So at the moment, one of my first customers, she has her own ideas. So we'll use the benchmark, we're working together. And she has her own ideas for colour, for what she wants on the inner lining, what her zip colour is going to be. So that's pretty exciting to be able to work through that with someone who's just as passionate about it as I am. But with my signature designs, I do have 3 linings, but they're removable.
Yes.
So you can also interchange them.
Oh, that's really awesome. So do you have pictures of the different kinds of linings you have on your Facebook?
On my Facebook, yes.
Yes, just hop over to Queen Cherry Bomb. Now, here's a little pocket over here. Yes. What is this little pocket for?
So 2 of the pockets on the inside are really for basically just little things like your sunglasses or reading glasses as well.
Yes.
And the other one for just things like earphones. Sometimes people wear earplugs, just a real small, easy access.
Really lovely. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I guess that was another huge feedback. Pockets. As many pockets as you can fit in is what women were saying.
Yeah, I can imagine, because essentially you're not going to take your handbag, are you?
Exactly.
You want to just be able to switch off and hop off the bike and take all your gear with you because it's in your jacket. This is absolutely phenomenal. Well done.
Thank you.
So how are you going with sales, and then also how are you going with finding the manufacturers?
So the manufacturers, it's a constant work in progress.
Yes.
Working with them, so I'm probably working with maybe 3 at the moment, and I will continue to have a number of manufacturers as I go.
Yeah.
Things can change, and sometimes the batch might not be what the previous one was, and so it's always really wise to have
more than one.
More.
Yeah.
But I've also engaged some local people, local Rockhampton experts really in pattern making and sewing, to do some of the work prior to it going to the manufacturer. So making up a mock jacket first, so we can really try it on, pull it apart, make sure the measurements are all right, and things like that. Because as you know, if you're selling internationally, there is a sizing chart and there's international sizes, but if you're doing customised gear, you don't need the chart, you need to actually be very specific. So that's pretty good.
That's awesome. And how are you going on selling these jackets? I know you said that you already have a customer which you're working with. That's brilliant. And are you taking orders? Do you have a waiting list?
I'm taking orders. So I'm taking pre-orders at the moment, and you can pre-order through the Facebook page. It's all over. It's all over. Everything that you need is on the Queen Cherry Bomb Facebook page. I have a website as well, which has a link on there. I also have email, and it's all on that page.
That's brilliant. And people can contact you.
Absolutely.
If we have any female riders, contact Leah. All male riders with female, partners who ride. This is the most phenomenal gift I think that you can ever give someone, is a custom design jacket or something that fits really well. I love how the zip is a different color. So here it's pink. That's really lovely. Now, tell us the number one tip that you would share. If I would ask you, what's the number one most important business tip that you think everyone should know? What would that be?
I would say, first, trust yourself.
Yes.
And secondly, get a mentor.
Yes.
I think that's really important. I find that the things, so I have a history of, as we all do, of making decisions and thinking a certain way. I know where some of my strengths and weaknesses are. Sometimes I need someone to challenge me on that. So if you're running your own business and it's only you and you don't have anyone to bounce off, that can be a real challenge. So if you were to engage a mentor, you can then kind of bounce things off. And I think that's probably been a really helpful thing for me.
Yeah, I think the other big advantage of having a mentor is really you're leveraging other people's experience.
Yeah.
So you're not making the same mistakes that have been made. So it prevents you from making mistakes and helps you take the not the straight road, because there is no straight path to success, but the more known path, I suppose. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything else?
Look, I would absolutely recommend the Turbo Traction Lab. I know that there's a third one coming up. If anyone's listening and they're interested, absolutely apply.
Yep.
Yeah, so amazing.
So the application process is really simple. Did you find that challenging, doing the application?
No, I think it was a short video, which is good, because if you're not used to doing videos, by the end of Turbo Traction Lab you will be.
Yes.
And you'll be very confident behind the camera.
Exactly.
So I think it was a short video, and you don't need any extra information. It was just what's in your head, put it out on paper.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so I think you can access the application form just on the link below. Brilliant. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for joining us. I'm here on the couch with the gorgeous Leah, and we're talking all things business. And being a female founder is what I want to get to next, just before we say goodbye. But this is Leah's amazing MVP. So you got this manufactured and ordered, and this is custom design, right?
Yes.
Your own design.
Yes.
And there are 3 interchangeable intersections, and you can see all the options on her Facebook page. And pre-order your jackets if you are interested in female motorbike gear. So how have you found it being a female in business? How has that been?
It's amazing. I think that there's so many women around me at the moment that are doing amazing things in the business world, and I'm highly inspired all the time. There's always challenges with life in general, but I think in my own experience, being a female manager comes with certain challenges, and that is that an expectation of if you're running an organisation or a business, and as you would know, Elize, this is what you do. There's been, I guess, historically, there's a certain way to manage, and I think they call it maybe some hard management skills, and they kind of interchange the hard and soft management skills. But I think what I've learned over the years is that you need to do things from the heart, do things with compassion, and it doesn't matter about the gender in that case. It is just about working really hard towards your goals.
Love it. Leah, any final words just before we say goodbye?
I feel like I've said a lot of words.
You have.
Just thank you, Elize. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity to be here, and thank you for all of the support over Turbo Traction Lab.
Oh, we're so proud of you. Thank you for being part of our community. So if you are interested in the Turbo Traction Lab, please hop on and send us your application. If you have any questions about, there's the last... if you have any... What is that, Jay? What's HL?
Last HubLive.
Oh, the last, yeah, thank you for reminding me. Yes, that's good that you're keeping me on track. If you have any questions about the Smart Hub and the community or anything we do at the Smart Hub, please feel free to reach out to us, send us a private message, Google us, or just hop on our website. You can call us, and you can also just come into Customs House, 208 Key Street, where the Smart Hub is. And we would love to show you around and introduce you to our community. We also have some really great events coming up for next year. So this is our very last HubLive for 2019. And personally, I am incredibly excited about the new decade. And I feel like it's like a good vibe, great new fresh things will happen. So we're very, very excited about 2020 and would love to welcome any new people into our community. So if you have a business idea, please feel free to reach out. But also really look forward to seeing where you take your business, because you'll be in TTL3 and you will be doing a demo in June, which we will definitely have another conversation with you at the end of June and see how things have progressed then.
And things will be very much progressed. I'm really excited about next year.
So am I, absolutely. And as Jacinta has just reminded me, there will be no HubLives until the 30th of January. So we're going to use January just to recharge a little bit, but also to get all our planning underway. We're thinking about the topics to deliver for you next year now and over January. So if you are interested in any specific topic around business, or if you would like us to interview anyone specific, please feel free to reach out, hop on the comments, or private message us with suggestions or requests, and we'll try and do our best. I have to say a huge thank you to the absolute amazing Jacinta, who is typing furiously behind the scenes. She is responsible for doing the setup for our HubLive every day. The things that you can't see are the lights and the whiteboard with everyone's questions and names on, and Jacinta replying and responding to everybody's comments, and also hopping on and putting the Facebook page and stuff on. So Jacinta, you have been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for your help over the last few months, and we look forward to taking this even to the next level in 2020. So from us, a very, very Merry Christmas at the Smart Hub. Very Merry Christmas, and may 2020 be your best year yet. We'll see you in January. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.